and welcome to Add More Zest. My name's Rebecca. I run a diamond painting and accessories company, and today we are going to be doing a section on my Heaven and Earth design painting. So I'm working on Mini Beautiful Light by Adele Sessler. It has 15 colours and the finish size is 46 centimetres by 82 centimetres, and this is a cross stitch pattern that I am doing as a diamond painting on a blank canvas. So join me while we get today's section done. Okay, so I know this is in no way the best viewpoint for a Heaven and Earth design. I am gonna see at some point, I'm not exactly sure when, but I do still have the brackets and of course the lights from when I had them in the craft room. So I am gonna see if I can set up something or potentially look. I had a brief look the other day, but I haven't had a chance to have a proper look. But they do tripods that allow you to sort of do overhead. So yeah, I'm going to see if I can do that at some point. As you'll probably be able to tell by the comments when I get to them over the next few weeks, it's been very mixed on the new angle when I worked on the paint gem last week. It's very much a mixture of like it and don't like it. So I think potentially going forward sort of a mix would be good. But I do understand that when I'm working on something flat like I am now, it is not the best sort of lineup. But I kind of wanted to, one, give it a go with the Heaven and Earth design, so that you guys have seen sort of both ways of doing it. But yeah, I think I'm going to look into getting, I think you can get like a tripod that's then weighted, and do it that way. Because my other thought was to see if I could get my old clip that I had in the craft room. I had a couple of options. So one is to try and clip it to the space in my new craft room, but then that would involve setting up the lights as well, because I need light in that craft room. It doesn't have any natural light at all. The other option is for me to try and clip it to one of the standing desks in the shop and then do my whip and waffle on the one below. However, I am really enjoying being able to do my whip and waffles at the conservatory table, which is what I'm doing now, because it's very close to all my craft items. It's easy to grab things out, do the whip and waffle and put things away. A lot easier than taking everything to the shop and bringing it all back in. And the least obstacles I can have, I know it will be better for me in the long run to have the least amount of obstacles. So yeah, I think I may try the sort of tripod system that I can set up at the end of the desk or at the end of this table, and see if I can do it that way. So bear with me for today's. I will put that on my list to do. How soon it will be, I don't know, because I need to do a bit of research, which means it takes longer. It takes longer when research is involved, and doesn't make things anywhere near as easy to sort of implement. But yeah, I'll I've got that on my radar. Just so you know, I also have a brew because it's WIP and waffle time. So yeah, I hope everybody is having a great week. It's been a very, very busy week here. A busy week treading water is what I'd say. I feel like I've still got loads to do. In fact, I do still have loads to do. And I very nearly thought about skipping today's WIP and waffle so I could just concentrate on getting things straight. But as hubby pointed out, I should have levels of things that are not pushed back compared to other things that may be pushed back when I'm short of time. And YouTube shouldn't be one of the things that's pushed back. And he's right. He's definitely right. It's getting closer to the end of the very busy period for me. Or at least very time busy period. But it's not quite there yet. But you know what? I can make it through. I've still got diamond paintings to check, to quality check before launch this evening. And I still need to cut cover paper. I have absolutely zero cover paper cut at the moment ready for the printer. I am cutting it according to orders. But as he rightly said in relation to not pushing back YouTube, when I thought about it, it's like, it's true. I can cut a batch of cover paper and just do enough to get me through launch. I don't have to fill both my tubs, which is what's my goal, which would last me a couple of months. I just need to cut enough for launch. And in relation to the diamond paintings, I can always, put a couple less on the website and because most of all the round diamond paintings have been checked. My sister-in-law did a huge amount of them, and I finished them off the other day. I've also done some of the square, but not all. And quality-wise, there's only been one or two. So I can always just take a couple off, not list a couple on the website, check them as I go, and then update stock at the end if I need to. I can survive. I can survive if I don't get to check them all today. And it may well be that when I go into the shop and knuckle down, that I'll get them all checked today. And I'll be fretting over time for nothing. Then I would have been extremely disappointed if I hadn't have done the WIP and waffle while I could. So yeah, the end is in sight. It's just been a bit of a bitty week or two. Advents are shipping out nicely. They're all shipping out in chunks. And I do want to say, Canada, don't worry. I am looking into sending them an alternative way. So I have already checked. There is a courier I can send them via if need be. So yeah, I have got the option of sending them via courier. I am going to see, firstly, I need to make a phone call and see whether I can send them via Parcel Force, which is sort of it's joined with Royal Mail. Recently, they've sort of fully merged together, but it's joined with Royal Mail for parcels, or for bigger parcels primarily. But yeah, because it's joined up with Royal Mail, I think that means it would be able to be part of my collection, and I can do the postage on my account, which would be loads better because all customer information is already in there, ready for shipment. But if not, I do have a backup. It just means I need to input the address manually, so it takes a little bit longer. So I'm going to try the easier option first. And if not, I will use this other courier. So do not worry, Canada. I am working on getting your advent to you as well. But apart from Canada, I think I hit the end of August yesterday. So orders from the end of August have all gone out, or up to the end of August. Maybe there might be one that's due to go today, actually, for the 30th of August. But yeah, it is getting there with Advent. It may take a little bit. I'm still going to try and get some out each day when I'm getting launch orders out. It just might not be as many as it would have been otherwise. But yeah, they're starting to be received. It's exciting. I've already had feedback from one person who has opened their Advent calendar and it's all good. So that makes me breathe a sigh of relief that it is liked. But yeah, it's a crazy week here, but I know the end is getting there. But yeah, I have lots of comments and things to get through on previous WIP and waffles. That's what's up on my screen over there. So I'm going to stop waffling on about what I've been up to. Though I did do my craft room, if you can possibly tell. Last week's WIP and waffle, I filmed like this, but I hadn't done the craft room yet. Now I have. Hence the reason I'm not doing an overhead shot. I'm going to film the sort of last bit to that in a moment. Last sort of tour through in its current place, and that will be up on Tuesday. Oh, I also need to film, though this will definitely be a next week, maybe even the week after, or over the next few weeks, to be fair. I need to do some dekitting. I well and truly need to do some dekitting. So I have very much got back into, or got the bug again, to make myself stop working and diamond paint on an evening. I finished Shared Home, which you guys know. But I have since also finished Floral Surprise, which is a chart to art kit. I finished that. So I need to get some dekitting done because I also want to get kitted up. I actually have a painting in mind. I'm not going to use my decision wheel this time. Yeah, I've actually got a painting in mind that I want to do for a specific reason. So yeah, I need to kit that up as well. But I think I need to dekit to be able to kit that up. Or maybe, I do have other storage. Maybe I'll kit that up first. Who knows? We shall see what time I have. So yeah. Okay, I need to stop waffling about my week because there's lots of comments and I want the updates. Let me just put these 3 diamonds in though so I can read this update. Have we got, oh, we've got a few more of those. So Melissa, she says, hello, Rebecca and Zesties. She says she thought she'd pop in and give another health update. She says one of the requirements for her knee surgery, she said, is a health clearance from her general practice doctor and an EKG. She says her GP, of course, cleared her right away. She says, but now, unfortunately, with her EKG, the ortho pre-screening team, they found evidence that she'd had a heart attack at some point. Oh my goodness me. She says, so they made me go see a cardiology specialist so he could take a look. She said he seemed unconcerned, but wanted an ultrasound to be safe. She said, and she found out today that she was cleared with no need to see him again unless she had any more heart issues. She says, so yay there. Oh, good. Good, we've got the results that it's not anything you need to worry about. And at least you know, so you can keep an eye. She says during her final pre-screening, she says with ortho today, she weighed in at 221 pounds. She says that is down from 300 plus she was 6 to 9 months ago. She says she says 300 plus. She says because she knows she was well over 300, but doesn't recall by how much. She said she was pretty sure it was 310 or higher at her worst. Anywho, she says she is super excited, hopeful yet nervous for her surgery on October the 27th. She's asking for tons of good vibes and prayers from everyone. She says for an issue-free surgery and a super speedy recovery. She says so she can start enjoying her life again. She says love to all. She says happy fall. Well, absolutely fantastic news. Well done you. Both on, achieving the weight loss, but also on getting your dates. It's always good to have something to look forward to, even if it does involve surgery, because you're looking forward to the other side of things. But yeah, well done you on your achievements. It's not easy going through things like that. So absolutely fantastic news that you are ploughing through it with optimism. Love it. Liv says she loves the silver tray and my fancy pen. Thank you. I'm currently using one of our old launch pens today. Because I have redone the craft room and because I bring everything out here and I only have the one desk in there now instead of two, I do very much sort of tidy things up as I finish. I may leave my diamond painting out if I know I'm going to be working on it the next evening, but I often put my pen stuff away, probably only because it's a new space. Let's be real, it's not going to last a long time doing that. Knowing me, it will have periods of messiness in its near future. But for now, I've been putting things away. And it's actually quite nice to sort of pick a new tray and pen each time I'm diamond painting. I can pick what speaks to me on that particular day. Cat Lady, she says she'll see if she can find some before and after pictures, which I did note she did get to see some pictures in the group, which is always good. She says she might wait until the extractor fan is in. She says, but the carpet went down yesterday and the decorator is coming in to finish the final wall on Tuesday, which is awesome. So that should be all done. She says they've been attacking the garden today. She says it is... Sorry, hang on. I was nearly losing track of where I was then. She says it's so overgrown. She says it might be easier to whip it all out. She says, and start again. She says, what's the use of fruit trees and bushes? She says, if you can't eat the fruit. She says the apple tree is still giving apples. And there's some really big bunches, she says, but they are too high to reach. She says she can eat apples, she says, but she currently has far too many. She says, hope you get a good load done for Advent on Friday. So this comment, or these couple of comments, have been from my last Heaven and Earth design, so a couple of weeks ago. But yes, got a very, very good head start on Advent. Yesterday I got all of the Advents that we prepped the other week, all of them into boxes, just waiting for the final item to be able to go in it. So I've got them all prepped and in boxes and ready to sort of, as soon as it's done, ship out, which is fantastic news, exactly where I wanted to be with that. But we have had more sales since. So as soon as launch, which is this evening, has been shipped out, I will be prepping the next batch to get those out. But very happy place with Advent, just not as caught up for launch as I want to be, and that's not stuff that will prevent anything getting shipped out. It's just things that will make it a little bit chaotic while shipping out. But I fully expect that I will get them all finished off this weekend, because I work much better in being organised than in chaos. In fact, it wouldn't surprise me if I finished them this afternoon and I've just been a worrywart for nothing. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for launch because it's Advent event time. And as busy as that can be doing a WIP and waffle, I'm actually really looking forward to it. Because yeah, things quieten down otherwise. Advent will be with everybody. And yeah, I can sit and diamond paint each day while figuring out what to get my older kids for Christmas. Because they normally give us a list, but it feels a bit flat when they give us a list and there's no surprises. So I'm going to try and do some surprises this year. So if anybody would like to email me links and suggestions for older children, by all means. See if I can find them some surprises that aren't just Christmas socks. Ellie, she says, hi Rebecca. She says she has really enjoyed this WIP and waffle. She says she's just got up after spending Thursday and today, the Friday, she says, in bed. Not feeling too good. She says, hearing you reply, she says, to my comment at the end made me smile. Oh, that's so good. She says she feels a theme, though. She says, as though it was her order that I finished packing on one video also. Well, maybe this one being in the middle will be better. She says she hasn't succumbed over the years to Advent, she says, except for Kat's putty one. She says, so she's really looking forward to the AMZ one. I really hope that you're going to love it as much as I do. Because, yeah, I'm really enjoying it. She says she needs to go over and place her order for the temperature chart. Which, yes, that's another thing I'd like to sort of start getting my background done on. I also want to kit up another chart to art to do in the background. But I don't know whether to just do, maybe kit up the temperature chart and the painting that I want to do. And do those two before I kit up another chart to art. Yeah, and sort of get all the background of that done. And then I can start getting my diamonds together and maybe get some videos in of me getting my diamonds together and what colours and ranges and stuff I'm going to do before we start the December events, so that I'm ready to go with it in the new year. Maybe that's what I should do. just hold off on ghost doing stuff just for a little bit longer. Though it is the season for that too. We shall see what I end up doing. I know I've got loads I want to kit up. I think I'm going to try and, once launch orders have been packed and gone out, I think I'm just going to try and allocate a day to just filming, kitting up, dekitting, all the rest of it, and then put the videos up over the next few weeks. Depends how long it takes me to pack up launch orders as to how much time I can get into film. But yeah, I'm very excited for upcoming projects. As you may know, I love a new project. She says she has been thinking about the temperature chart, she says, to the point that it hurts her brain. It's good to have something a little bit different to think about, though, and to sort of plan and do. She says when she's feeling better, she says everything will make sense, she hopes. She says, thanks for entertaining me again. She says she's still working on Spookmas and started a new kit called Tennessee Sunset Crossing. She says she hopes she's remembered the name of it right. She says when she's kitted it up, she says so much orange. She says, but she loves the image. She says she hoped today went great, and I hope the little elves in the workshop, she says, got plenty packed. She says, and she's looking forward to the next instalment. Oh, thank you, Ellie. Yes, my elves worked overdrive a week last Friday. Absolutely fantastic, and definitely gave me more breathing room. It's sort of ups and downs at the moment. So after last Friday, it was more calm, and now there's just more busy panic for launch, and then it'll be busy getting the orders out, and then it will be more calm again, I hope. Diana, she says, just a question for you. She says, will you ever restock, she says, the silver tray that you're using in this WIP and Waffle? She says she missed out on it, and the more she sees me use it, she says the more she needs it. She says she has a gold one from a previous advent calendar. She says so now she needs a silver one to go with it. The answer is yes. I have got that filament on my list to purchase from that supplier next time I order. And then as soon as I can get it on a printer, I will get that on, as well as the black and red. That's the other one that's been requested again, the black and red from the other month. So yeah, I will get those on as soon as I can. It's probably going to be a couple of months. The printers are extremely busy at the moment, and we've just launched the new bright colourway as stock trays, so I expect to be printing those for a while, until, you know, all orders are fulfilled and the stands are restocked for those, and then I'll be looking at what other ones I can get on the printers, keep them working. Wouldn't want them to slow down work and stop too soon. So yeah, I will, that's on my list. Crafty Hal says, hi Rebecca, love your videos as always. Thank you. So glad you are enjoying them. Kim, she says she is dithering about the temperature charts. She says she lives in an area that has extremes in temperature. So that is a possibility. She says she is also considering doing the chart on the number of pages she reads each day. which is another good thing. I do like the fact it can be used for multiple things. She says, however, she says that might have too many of the same colours to be interesting, which could be true. If you have the same sort of amount of time that you read a book, I can imagine that your numbers would be very, very similar throughout the days. That's another reason that I'm half and half over tracking the likes of orders, which I think I'd kind of like to track over temperature. But I find that weeks in between launch, order amounts are very similar, like a smaller range, and it fluctuates between that range. And then, of course, launch, it has a peak and then it comes back down again. So, yeah, I don't know how it's going to sort of look in that way. But, yeah, it could be an interesting range to do, or at least interesting to look back on. So I might still do it. I just have to mess about with my numbers to try and get a nice range. She says if she does that, she says she'll have to narrow the ranges down in smaller numbers to be certain that she gets a big array of colours. So 1 to 5 pages, 5 to 10 pages, etc. Okay, I just put one down. There it is. I put one in a block of 2 and then got confused where the rest needed to go. She says this is going to require me to keep a journal, to jot down the temperatures and the number of pages she reads. She says then maybe she'll be able to make a final decision at the end of January, just to compare which option would have more colours. That is true. You could start jotting them down now. So of course, you'd only get like the last few months of the year range, but maybe that would be enough to give you sort of an idea, especially with reading, of how much that sort of fluctuates up and down. And temperatures is quite easy if you want to figure out that one, because you can just pull up the temperatures for the last year and just note them all down and get a full year's worth and work out sort of how much of a range you would have had based on this last year, and then do it, of course, for the year that you're in. So you can get a nice sort of idea of how that's going to work. But pages that you read, yeah, I'd start noting them down now. Especially because it will also cover like Christmas, which is a busy time of year, which may or may not affect how much you read. But it may, sort of show you how it could change the quiet times, and then you could flip that to maybe you'd be able to read more when you're on holiday. Give you an idea of that. It sounds like a good one to do in the fact that it's individual and unique, but it is a matter of making sure you note it down every day. And as much as I'd love to say I'm a person that could, I know full well there would be days I would forget. So that very much depends on your personality as well, as whether picking up your book triggers you to note down how many pages. And maybe figuring that out now and noting that down now for a couple of months will let you know if you actually forget any days. You'll know whether it's something you're going to be able to keep up for a full year. Kind of be handy to know. Lady Dax, she says yes. She says the cats rule the house. I think cats always rule whatever house they live in. It's in their nature. She says she's still mixing up diamond painting with card making at the moment. She said it's less painful that way. She says she's looking forward to the next launch. And when she does get an advent, she says she's a good girl and she won't touch it until December the 1st. Well, I hope it is all tucked away, ready and waiting. Because I know yours has gone out. So it should already be with you. I think the last of, when I say I've got all orders out till the end of August, I actually bagged or got a load ready for the postie yesterday evening. So you may not have got your dispatch notification until today. But yeah, they're all, I've got a couple of bags already in my haul. Waiting for the postie to pick up that I actually put together last night. Just to try and get myself ahead on today. Get myself a head start. Doro B. Punked, she says, congratulations for finishing the shared home painting. Yes, if you ever look back, or whenever I look back on my sort of year in review, diamond paintings I've done, blah, 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 you will always see a dip in the summer on completion. I've done it before. I've set up 2 or 3 paintings and I've let my decision wheel pick which one I'm working on for the evening. And I love it when I do that. It's like a little game in with my diamond painting. And I really enjoy it. But I kept setting it up just before summer and then I'd have no time to diamond paint. And then I'd feel as though I'd had the same 2 or 3 paintings kitted up forever. Even now, I'm like, should I just, dekit first so that I can finish getting through the Paint Gem Crafts paintings? Because I feel like I've been doing those for ages. Because I have. But then that's another one to dekit and another one to kit up. So who knows? Who knows? But I do know I need to have a YouTube filming day because I've got paintings to unbox and things as well that I want to sort of put away in my craft room, but I need to unbox them first. And yeah, all the things. She says, as she's loving my dekitting, kitting up videos, she says she is looking forward to them and the future larger project that I am going to do. Thank you. I will get to them soon. It may be a couple of weeks. If I'm just being practical, like today is a Friday, it's launch this evening. I'll be launch prepping this weekend. So I won't, and I've got a 50th birthday party this weekend as well. So I won't be able to sort of film any dekittings or kittings up. And then, of course, the beginning of the week, I'll be packing orders, which often runs into 3 days at the moment, potentially 4. Because it's the bigger launch with the bigger diamond paintings. So if I'm being practical, I'm not going to be able to get in a full sort of filming day for dekitting and things until the week after. So it will be a couple of weeks. But they are coming and I will try and get them all sort of filmed and get each one dekitted, done, shown to you, and then just release them as extra videos over the next few weeks. So you'll get extra ones, maybe even leading up to Advent. I've got that many to do. That many videos and just not enough time. Oh, this is looking so good. I love filling in the gaps. I love this part of a painting when I just get to fill in all the bits. Doroby Punkt also says, she was quite busy. She says the last few weeks and didn't have time to watch all the WIP and Waffle videos. She says, so she's more to watch and catch up on now. Well, that's good. Here's another one. She says she had 2 weeks holiday. She says, and quite a lot to do. She said her horse had to go to the veterinary clinic for an x-ray examination at short notice. She says, there goes my money. It's nothing like a pet to take your money. She says it turned out, he has arthritis in his hip and his knee. Sorry, let me just catch up on these. Because I've been doing the chart to art paintings, when it comes to the final colour, I've sort of just done them, not particularly marking them off, and then just press and hold and tell it to do the whole page, because they're all in separate individual files. But if I do that on this one, I'm properly mucked up. So I'm just catching up on doing my square at a time. Just try and do that one right before I hit an automatic button and completely muck myself up, because I've been working on different charts. So she also, which is why he can't walk properly at the moment. So he has arthritis in his hip and his knee. She says, but he is 22 years old. She says he is getting to be an old Icelandic pony. She says he will enjoy his twilight years with us. She says, and we will make the best of it. As he was born at our place, she says she has known him as long as he lives. Oh, bless. She said he is such a cuddly and gentle soul. She says she loves him. She says, and it is hard watching him suffer and not being well. She says in the second week, her best friend came to visit and they went out together. But they also did a lot of diamond painting together and really enjoyed their time, which is awesome. She says she is so excited for her advent calendar this year. She says her hubby also decided to gift a self-made one to me. So she said, so she's given him lots of hints on what lovely goodies she'd like. She says there'll be a diamond painting from Aura Loa that she really loves. Oh, that's always nice when they do things like that. Sometimes I think that's what I should do. Maybe I will do. That's something I should possibly do for the kids. Though, trying to think of 24 things for my son could be hard. But I kind of feel like you lose the excitement, and maybe just make their Christmas presents an advent calendar instead. I don't know. I get away with myself on ideas. Oh, Delia says she'll buy an advent on the 21st of October. There should be enough left, hopefully. Sales go up and down at the moment now. The spurts. But yeah, there we go. That is today's section done. So let me just... excuse the moving of the camera now. I'm going to try and move it so that you can see a bit better. But that is the section we have done today. I'd love to be able to hold it here while I was diamond painting, but I can't hold and diamond paint at the same time. I even tried setting this camera up in front of me to give you the best view, but it didn't work. Let me move my computer and my tray. Excuse me, you got that sneeze. And that one. And move my phone. And there we go. See? We can see the painting looks absolutely gorgeous. I do actually really like this part, considering how many colours it's got in it. Other thing to note, now I don't know if we hit this last time and I didn't realise, but let me bring my tablet back in. Can you see that? I'm not sure if I'm basically in the conservatory, so any shadows you can see is sort of the bars in the roof. But we are at 51.25%. So we are more than halfway done on this painting, which is good to know. I know I was hoping to finish it this year when I had more time earlier in the year, and I know it's not going to happen now. But we are doing well on this one, and it is a long-term project, so it's all good. It will be done when it will be done. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me for today's video. I do apologise for the angle, and I will work on it, because I do agree it needs to be better, or it would be ideal if it's better, especially for this painting. But yeah, things have sort of changed around here. I've got a new my new dining table's arrived, but my new chairs haven't. So I'm currently sat on the one chair that hubby picked up that's going to live in my craft room and be an extra dining table chair until the dining table chairs turn up on Monday. But yeah, it's all go over here, but it's all good over here. So you have an absolutely amazing week, and I'll speak to you all again soon.